everybody, it's me, Miss Shawn from Gwinnett County Public Schools, Early Learning and School Readiness, and of course, Play to Learn. And today we're going to do a read aloud, and I have some special helpers with me today. This is Marshall. He's in 2nd grade. He's been working on his digital learning. And this is Franklin. He's currently in pre-K and going to be starting kindergarten in the fall. Can you guys say hi?
Hello.
Yes. All right. So we have a new book today. It's called Giraffes Can't Dance. Look at that silly picture. And it's written by, it's kind of a hard name. I'm going to try to say it. Giles Andre and Guy Parker Reese. And this is a book that has some great growth mindset. It says giraffes can't dance, but it looks like maybe he's dancing on the cover of that picture. What do you guys think?
I do think that.
Do you think that he can't dance, or do you think that he's dancing? Maybe it just looks a little funny.
Maybe he's doing
But it does look like a cartwheel, doesn't it? Have you ever seen a giraffe dance in real life?
No, because they can't do that.
You don't think they can do that in real life? Maybe. I don't know. This is a pretend story, so we'll see. But what I love about this book is that this giraffe right here is going to learn a really, really important lesson. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Can you look at me? Okay. Here we go. Giraffes can't dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. What did you guys hear when I read that?
Rather rhymes.
What did you hear?
Rhymes.
Oh, Marshall said he heard some rhyming. Did you hear some rhyming, Franklin? Listen. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim. Listen. But his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. Slim and thin. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Some rhyming in there. Ooh. Can you see where they're at? Where are they, Franklin?
In the savannah.
In the savannah. And that's a big word for a type of land where some different animals live. So this is probably in Africa, right? In the grasslands called the savannah. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Oh, poor Gerald. So he used his long neck to eat the trees, the tops of the trees. But when he tried to run, those long legs would trip him up and he would do what, Franklin? What would he do? He would fall down.
Poor Gerald.
Poor Gerald, that's right. You have such empathy for the character in our story. This tells us exactly where Gerald is. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. What is prance?
Dance? Prance means like...
Well, there's dance and then there's prance.
Prance like run around.
Oh, like kind of show off your body a little bit and run around. Yeah. And this year when they arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. So there's all the animals. Maybe. Parents, when you look at this particular picture, talk about the different animals that live in Africa in the savannah. Franklin, what do you see? He sees some zebras. Marshall, what's that?
A lion.
That's the Lion King. That's right. How do we know that's the Lion King?
Because lions are the king of the jungle.
Well, but also because this one has what? What's that called? He has the hair. He has a mane. That's a good word.
Wait, what?
And what is this one, though?
That's the wife.
That's the girlfriend or the wife, the lioness. Can you say lioness?
Lioness.
I see some elephants. Who can find the elephant?
Right there.
And what are these, Franklin?
Hippos.
Hippos. I do love a good hippo. You love hippos, too. Those are some different kinds of animals. I'm trying to remember what those are called. We'll have to look those up.
I think they're called,
Antelopes, maybe?
Yeah, antelopes.
Okay, maybe they're antelopes. I see some cheetahs and some hyenas and some... What are these things I hate?
Snakes.
Snakes!
Mommy
Oh, I'm so afraid. What? Cheetahs? Right here.
I see some monkeys.
And some monkeys. All right, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Ooh, the warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Oh, look at that dancing. Cha, cha, cha. Did I see the warthogs waltzing? That's alliteration when the words start with the same letter. Warthog, waltzing. Rhinos rock and rolled. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons they then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Look, you can practice some dancing. Cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. Good dancing, yes. Gerald swallowed bravely. Oh. That's a big swallow. He's nervous. He's nervous. As he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. Did they mean roar like roar?
Laughing.
That's right. They meant roar like
I
laughing.
can see all their mouths laughing.
Marshall is so right. When you look at the pictures, you can see that their mouths are laughing. So he's using his picture clues to figure out what does roar mean, because it could mean something different. Franklin thinks it means roar.
But it might mean
Laughing. Roaring with laughing, right?
Because lions kind of roar, so when they laugh, they're kind of roaring.
Yeah.
No.
Hang on. Let's keep reading.
When they roar, that means they're laughing.
Maybe. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. How does Gerald feel, Franklin? Sad. Show me sad. Okay, enough. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. Look at his face. Oh, look at that face. I know. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Look at his head is down. That's how we know he's sad, right? I know, poor Gerald. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Oh, what does that mean?
I'm not sure. Let's keep reading and figure it out.
Let's keep reading. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. So Gerald closed his eyes and he listened. And he started to sway to the grasses blowing in the breeze and the wind. And he started to hear lots of music in nature. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. Is he dancing? Did he find his music?
Yeah, he found it.
He did find his music. Let's see. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and he leapt up in the air. Wow, look at Gerald.
Gerald has found his music.
Gerald found his music, that's right. It doesn't mean that giraffes can't dance. It just means that giraffes dance differently, right?
And they need to find the music in their life.
Everybody needs to find their very own music, and then you can dance, right?
I love country.
Yeah. Gerald felt so wonderful his mouth was open wide. I am dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Yay! Everybody say, woohoo!
Go, Gerald!
Yay! Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, it's a miracle. We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen.
Go, Gerald! Look at Gerald! Go, Gerald! Go, Gerald! Go!
They're very excited for him. Look at Gerald. All he needed was to find his own way, his own music, right? How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Let's see. You ready? Here's what Gerald said. He raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We can all dance, he said, when we find music that we love. Isn't that so great? So parents, what this means is everybody develops things differently and at different times. Everybody has different likes and interests. And that's what's so exciting about the world, right? Is that everybody is different.
Yeah, my brother don't like the same things.
You don't. You and Franklin do not always like the same things. Marshall's favorite music is country music. What's your favorite music? He likes a little more pop music, right, Franklin? Slide over so everybody can see you. So he gets very excited when some like pop kind of music comes on. He loves Havana, Ooh Na Na, right?
And I love Old
Town Road.
I like Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel is one of his favorites. But what's really important is that everybody excels at different times and different paces, and that everybody will eventually find their way. They just sometimes need to find their likes and interests, and then they'll really excel. So, always talk about how giraffes can't dance, but that's not true. We can all dance. We just have to find our own music, right? And not just literally. Sometimes we just need to find our own way, find our own likes and interests, and then we'll really excel at those things because they're things that we enjoy. So when you're working with your kids, always find the things that they like and then work from there. Kind of like if your kids really love cars, then sort cars, pattern cars, count cars. Because if you're bringing in something that they like, then they're always going to try to learn and put on a new skill with that if they're using materials that they like, right? Right. All right, friends. So the message for today is keep reading, find your music, practice and spend time together every day learning new skills, because maybe you can't dance right now, but you'll soon dance. You just have to find your own way, right?
I used to do that.
All right, everybody. Can you say goodbye? Say bye. See you later. Keep reading.